Hi everybody, my name is Jaden.
I'm Eli.
I'm Jason.
I'm Caden.
And we are the Yahoo on the Torah YouTube channel.
And we thank you very much for hanging out with us. We thank you for hanging with the family here. And our family is your family. And your family is our family. And we love you guys very, very much. And we hope that you guys are having a wonderful day. We are into the book of Aḍam and Ḥawwah. And there are some people that have some angry responses to this on some of our channels. And a lot of people don't think it is part of what we should consider scriptures or doctrine. And as far as this goes, I don't have a great opinion on that. It is easy to tell that this concept and the whole entire entity of this book is the fall of Aḍam and Ḥawwah, and they fell because they were disobedient to the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And we get a lot of people on a lot of these different channels, and they don't care about the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. And, I guess, Matthew 7 very clearly says that those lawless people will be told to depart from our Messiah. And so the laws, statutes, and commandments are an important part of our lives. It's an important part, hopefully it's part of your lives. And it's things that we should all embrace, and we should all love, and we should all keep very close to us. So let's begin. 1. Then Aḍam took Ḥawwah, and they began to return to the cave of treasures where they dwelt. But when they neared it and saw it from afar, heavy sorrow fell upon Aḍam and Ḥawwah when they looked at it. Then Aḍam said to Ḥawwah, "When we were on the mountain, we were comforted by the word of Elohim that conversed with us, and the light that came from the east shone over us. But now the word of Elohim is hidden from us, and the light that shone over us is so changed as to disappear, and let darkness and sorrow come upon us. And we are forced to enter the cave, which is like a prison, wherein darkness covers us, so that we are parted from each other. And thou canst not see me, neither can I see thee." When Aḍam had said these words, they wept and spread their hands before Elohim, for they were full of sorrow. And they entreated Elohim to bring the sun to them, to shine on them, so that darkness return not upon them. And they come not again under the covering of rock, and they wish to die rather than see the darkness. Then Elohim looked upon Aḍam and Ḥawwah, and upon their great sorrow, and upon all they had done with a fervent heart, on account of all the trouble they were in, instead of their former well-being, and on account of all the misery that came upon them in a strange land. Therefore Elohim was not wroth with them, nor impatient with them, for he was long-suffering and forbearing towards them, as towards the children he had created. Then came the word of Elohim to Aḍam, and said unto him, "Aḍam, as for the sun, if I were to take it and bring it to thee, days, hours, years, and months would all come to naught, and the covenant I have made with thee would never be fulfilled. But thou shouldest then be turned and left in a long plague, and no salvation would be left to thee forever. Yea, rather, bear long and calm thy soul while thou abidest night and day, until the fulfillment of the days and the time of my covenant is come." All right, you guys have anything so far on this?
So basically he's freaking out about the sun that goes away, and he I just want the sun to stay. He's like, if I let the sun stay there for you all time, we wouldn't have point in time, days wouldn't change, months wouldn't happen, it would be like one continual day. And he's like, then my covenant which you made, which the covenant was he's gonna have salvation in 5,500 years, 5.5 days. So they'd have salvation, return to the garden. So if the days didn't change, then I couldn't bring forth my covenant.
Yeah, and this is, for what we know, this is only day 2 of their trek into it. Day 1 did not go so well. They were scared to death of the dark. And here we are in day 2, and they are not very happy about this whole thing. And, a lot of us, nobody in the world that we are in right now understands what darkness is. We understand it because we can go flip a light on, or we can go find some light somewhere in places in cities. The lights never ever stop. But in complete darkness, where there is no source of light at all, it is going to be an extremely scary place to be, and you're going to have to probably not move around. I mean, you'd have to get very familiar with the cave that you were in before you would ever be able to move around, and without light, it's going to be a very tough world that they are in. All right, let's see, continuing on. Let's see, where are we at, boys?
I think we're on 11. No, we're on 12.
Okay. Yes, 12. Then shall I come and save thee, O Aḍam, for I do not wish that thou be afflicted. And when I looked at all the good things in which thou didst live, and why thou camest out of them, then would I willingly show thee mercy. But I cannot alter the covenant that has gone out of my mouth, else would I have brought thee back into the garden. When, however, the covenant is fulfilled, then shall I show thee and thy seed mercy, and bring thee into a land of gladness, where there is neither sorrow nor suffering, but abiding joy and gladness, and light that never fails, and praises that never cease, and a beautiful garden that shall never pass away. And Elohim said unto Aḍam, Be long-suffering, and enter the cave, for the darkness of which thou wast afraid shall only be 12 hours long, and when ended, light shall arise. Then when Aḍam heard these words from Elohim, he and Ḥawwah worshipped him, and their hearts were comforted. They returned into the cave after their custom, while tears flowed from their eyes. Sorrow and wailing came from their hearts, and they wished their soul would leave their body. And Aḍam and Ḥawwah stood praying until the darkness of night came upon them. And Aḍam was hid from Ḥawwah, and she from him. And they remained standing in prayer. Okay, we're going to only do 2 chapters on this. So, anyone have any thoughts? Eli, speak up, son. Got anything?
No.
They haven't slept yet.
Yeah, I don't think they've. I think they've said it was time. Like at some point, like now that they have like regular human bodies, they're getting tired probably. And like if they're standing all night, that's like 12 hours they're standing.
Yeah, and but that's when you're scared, you will do things that are different. Okay, 27:1. When Satan, the hater of all good, saw how they continued in prayer and how Elohim communed with them and comforted them, and how he had accepted their offering, Satan made an apparition. He began with transforming his hosts. In his hands was a flashing fire, and they were in a great light. He then placed his throne near the mouth of the cave, because he could not enter into it by reason of their prayers. And he shed light into the cave until the cave glistened over Aḍam and Ḥawwah, while his hosts began to sing praises. And Satan did this in order that when Aḍam saw the light, he should think within himself that it was a heavenly light, and that Satan's hosts were messengers, and that Elohim had sent them to watch at the cave, and to give them light in the darkness. So when Aḍam came out of the cave and saw them, and Aḍam and Ḥawwah bowed to Satan, then he would overcome Aḍam thereby, and a second time humble him before Elohim.
So this dude, like, I think creating a fire here. Is that what's happening here? He's like creating a fire?
It's like the power that Hasatan has and is able to wield. When you read some of the extracurricular books, it is clear that the Watchers, when they came down, when they were procreating with the women, they transformed themselves into likeness of men. So these things have power, right? These have like supernatural power, and they are able to do things of this nature. And so basically, what it says, he transformed all of his hideous his followers that he has there into what appears to be angels of light.
Right, and he hates these people. He hates the love that Yah has for us.
Yeah.
Because he accepts our offerings, he accepts our prayers, and Hasatan hates that.
Yeah, Hasatan definitely is an enemy of those who are keeping the laws, statutes, and commandments of our Creator. All right, and our dogs are starting to wind up a little bit. Can we please let Hannah out? Okay, so continue on. When therefore Aḍam and Ḥawwah saw the light, fancying it was real, they strengthened their hearts yet, as they were trembling. Aḍam said to Ḥawwah, Look at that great light, and at those many songs of praise, and at that host standing outside that do not come into us. Do not tell us what they say. Do not tell us what they say, or whence they come, or what is the meaning of this light, what those praises are, wherefore they have been sent hither, and why they do not come in. If they were from Elohim, they would come to us in the cave, and would tell us an errand. Then Aḍam stood up and prayed unto Elohim with a fervent heart, and said, O Yahuwah, is there in the world another God than thou, who created messengers and filled them with light, and sent them to keep us, who would come in with us, who would come with them? But lo, we see these hosts that stand at the mouth of the cave. They are in a great light. They sing loud praises. If they are of some other God, then thou tell me. And if they are sent by thee, inform me of the reason for which thou hast sent them. No sooner had Aḍam said this, than a messenger from Elohim appeared unto him in the cave, who said unto him, O Aḍam, fear not. This is Satan and his hosts. He wishes to deceive you as he deceived you at first. For the first time he was hidden in the serpent, but this time he is come to you in similitude of a messenger of light, in order that when you worshipped him, he might enthrall you in the very presence of Elohim.
So Adam was a little smarter than this time, right? He had a little. I think he's starting to gain the knowledge, starting to understand as like an older person would than a child would. He's like, why don't they come in the cave? This is Yahuwah. He can just come in our cave. He's like, why aren't they? Why are they outside the cave? He says, so he prays to Elohim. He's like, is this you? Tell me, or should I go out to you? Is this what is going on here? And then a messenger's like, hey, this is Hasatan. He's trying to trick you again. He's trying to destroy you before Elohim, so that you worship him and yet destroy you more.
Yeah, one of the key things that we see here is that Aḍam prayed to Elohim, right? He asked him. He was asking questions, and like in the book of Joshua, when Joshua went and made a truce with all of those the outside foreigners, they never ever prayed to Yah. They never ever asked him what they should do.
Right, they did what they thought was right.
Yeah, and then they ended up basically cursing all of Israel for every generation because they had these guys in the midst of them that they shouldn't have.
Even in the days of David, they're like still having to deal with them because Israel was slaughtering them.
Yep. Okay. Then the messenger went from Aḍam and seized Satan at the opening of the cave and stripped him of the faint he had assumed and brought him in his own hideous form to Aḍam and Ḥawwah, who were afraid of him when they saw him. And the messenger said to Aḍam, this hideous form has been his ever since Elohim made him fall from the Shamayim. He could not have come near you in it. Therefore did he transform himself into a messenger of light. Then the messenger drove away Satan and his host from Aḍam and Ḥawwah and said unto them, fear not, Elohim who created you will strengthen you. And the messenger went from them. But Aḍam and Ḥawwah remained standing in the cave. No consolation came to them. They were divided in their thoughts. And when it was morning, they prayed, and then went out to seek the garden, for their hearts were toward it, and they could get no consolation for having left it.
Again, they think they can get back to the garden. They just keep wanting to go back because that's where they were born. So it was home to them, but they can't longer be there anymore because they're not perfect anymore.
Yep,
and they don't. I don't think they understand that they just cannot go back in.
Yeah, and they're longing for it. That's all they knew. They knew the garden. What time frame do we know that they were in the garden?
I think somewhere either Jubilees or somewhere. I think it was 7 years there and there before they sinned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it was a while, and so they that's all they knew. They knew a perfect paradise, and they knew what communing with our Creator was about. They knew what seeing the angels, and they knew what talking with the animals, like literally talking to the animals, and the animals talking back to them. It was a whole different world, and the world that they got thrown into is rough, is ragged, and it is they're starting to gain experience and real world experience, and it is tough. It is tough, and I'm glad that we are not in that exact same situation. We have a advantage that we had childbirth, and we had the world of experience that these guys were unable to get. They had to get this on the fly. They had to get it real time. And so that's that. And so, guys, hopefully, if you guys get anything out of this, hopefully you guys will start looking to seek the Creator where He's able to be found. He's able to be found in the Torah of Yahuwah that is found in Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. And that is the guide for life. And with that, you guys will find the path to the kingdom. And the kingdom will hopefully be a place that we can all rejoice. We can all high-five each other, and we can all give each other props and say, hey, we made it, yay. And not a lot of people are going to make this. It is very, very, it's very clear in scriptures that most people don't make it. And when you look around in the world and society, it's very clear why. So with that, guys, I hope you guys have a wonderful day. We love you guys very much. Have a good day.
All right. Shalom.